What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Market Watch for the week of March 28th through April 3rd. I'm your host, Jason Zwolak of the Zwolak Group with First Team and Christie's International Real Estate. I hope you and your family have been safe and trying to enjoy each other and not to go too crazy as we go through this stay-at-home order, as it's now we know that it's being continued through April. So market's been a little bit crazy lately. As you know, each week I'm going to dive right in and look at the market. We look at Orange County and Irvine as a whole, and then I break down Irvine into three separate subcategories: the first-time home buyer, step up, and luxury market. If you do like these videos, make sure you subscribe, click the little bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So like I was saying, the last week, again, a lot of changes happened. Last Saturday, March 28th, real estate was deemed an essential business with a lot of stipulations, though. No open houses, yet there's a lot of guidelines that we have to follow and precautions we have to take when showing properties. And there's several new forms that have come out to protect sellers, buyers, and really you have to really acknowledge the fact that there is a danger and when you go into these houses. So there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts that have happened over the past week, and I think that's it's a good thing. We're trying to protect each other. We're trying to conduct this safely while providing that people being able to look for houses and sell their houses. And I really do think that shelter is essential, but we need to do this in a safe manner so that we can really try to flatten this curve, and that's what we're all about, trying to figure out how to navigate this new real estate world while we're in this worldwide crisis. So the market right now, again, it's up and down. We've seen some crazy things. When I ran the numbers this week, I was actually really surprised at some things, but I think there's some reasoning to that, and I'll get into that in a few minutes here. But I also did another video, so if you want to check it out, on are we in a recession, and is that recession going to lead to a housing crisis? I really look at some different numbers, some different data from 2008 to 2020, see what the differences are, and really look and see if we're heading in that direction. Again, it's information. You could take a look at it. I think it's some great tools to really just kind of look at and try to figure out what is going on and where can we expect to be when this is all said and done. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome, and I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump right in. We're going to look at Orange County and see what happened this week and compare it to last week. All right, let's check it out. So in Orange County this week, we had 465 homes sell compared to 467 last week. Pretty straightforward. 34 days on market compared to 33 last week for the homes that are sold. Really very similar numbers there. The average sales price was $890,083 compared to a $903,736 list price for a 98.5% list to sold ratio. Actually jumped up just under 1% from last week at 97.7. The number of active homes, and this number was really surprising actually. The average number of active homes went from 4,020 in Orange County to 4,284. So we did see a bump in those numbers, and I think a lot of people expected to see that number drop. And I have a philosophy, I guess, if you will, on why that happened. I have an idea as to why we saw a little influx there. I'll get to that in a sec here. But the one number that is telling is the number of homes in escrow. Last week, we had 2,615 homes in escrow in Orange County. This week, 2,252. So almost 400 homes less in escrow right now. So we did see a big drop in demand. So I think when we look at these numbers, they're kind of telling two tales. You have one that's showing the active market, the supply at almost 4,300 homes, and we're thinking, okay, well, inventory is going up like it typically does. Demand, the number of closed, have kind of stayed the same because from this week compared to last week. But where we really see the big difference is that drop in escrow. And what I think what we saw is that number for the active or the supply is kind of a inflated number, if you will. And the reason I think it's inflated because I don't think there's 200 and over 250 new homes on the market. I think you have some new homes on the market for sure. Some homes are coming on the market. We have a new listing come up this week, but there are other factors at play. Homes that maybe had to fall out of escrow because someone lost their job and COVID-19 has caused that to happen where they couldn't get the loan and those houses had to come back on the market. So it's really interesting in that. So I think that's where we saw that number go up. With the closings are around the same, but again, these closings, they were on the market for 33 days, so that's over a month ago on average. We were kind of just getting into the heat of this battle. So I think moving forward, when we're going to look at these numbers, we're really going to see how the COVID-19 has affected those closings. And when you look at the escrow numbers, how many homes have come into escrow, we see demand has definitely dropped off. Buyers have stepped back out of the market. So that's really going to something that we're going to have to watch moving forward and just to see what's going to happen until we're completely out of this mess right now, if you will. So now that's taking a look at what's happening in Orange County, now we're going to take a look at Irvine and see what happened there, see if there's any similarities to Orange County. So in Irvine this week, we had 43 homes sell compared to 38 last week, so pretty close. The average days on market for the homes this week for the sold homes was 43 compared to 60 last week. The number of homes on the market, again, we did see a little influx here as well. We went from 442 last week to 494 that are currently on the market. So we did see a little bit of an influx, but again, that could be homes falling out of escrow, moving there. The big number that we saw was the average list price was $1,224,850, and average sale price was just over $1,007,000 for a 98.3% list to sold ratio. That jumped 9% from last week, and so this is more on par for what we have seen this year. So was last week an anomaly? Only time will tell. We'll have to really watch those numbers as we move forward to really see what happened, because we don't know. Like as we saw, throughout 2020, we've seen numbers hovering around that 96.5 to 98.5, 99% list to sold average, and then we dropped to 89.3 last week in Irvine. So it seems like right now that's an anomaly. That 1 week, just one of those weeks where the homes sold for a lot less than the list. However, we'll look at that number in the coming weeks to see if that is a trend that we're going to see. If home sellers that are coming on aren't taking into account this COVID-19 and the lack of buyers that are in there, especially in the higher end, you may see that number even drop a little bit lower than it is right now. So again, only time will tell, and we'll keep an eye on that. So now that we've taken a look at Orange County and we've taken a look at Irvine. Oh, one other thing with Irvine, I almost forgot. Sorry about that. Was the escrow in escrow homes. So last week we had 224 homes in escrow. This week 180. So we saw 44 homes less in escrow this week than last week. So we can kind of see that's almost on par with the difference in supply. So how many homes came out, how many new homes came on. That's I think we really saw that's the change, just like we did in Orange County, and that's where we see those differences in numbers. So it's a little inflated increase in inventory because homes are falling out of escrow and getting back on the market. Okay. So now we got that. Now we'll take a look at the first of our three categories. First being first-time home buyers, and that is anything listed under $750,000. So let's take a look. So under $750,000, We had 11 homes sell this week versus 12 last week. Average days on market of 28 days, so these homes still sold pretty quickly. This puts them at the beginning of March. These homes, on average, going into escrow. So homes still closing during this crisis that we're having, and 26 homes last week, 26 days last week for the sold homes. Right now we have 118 homes on the market, 105 last week, so we did see an influx in the inventory in this category. Those homes that are on the market, 51 days average days on market right now for the homes that are currently listed. 55 days last week. So again, we did see a little bit of an influx, although the average days on market did dip a little bit. So again, it's really don't really know, can't really tell whether it's homes coming off the market, new homes coming on. There is a little bit of a mixture, but I think we're seeing a bigger number of homes that maybe be falling out of escrow versus homes coming on. People are waiting. They're decided that, hey, you know what? I don't want people coming through my house. I don't want showings. I don't want things like that. Let's just hold off, wait till this passes, and then we'll move on and look at listing our house. So that's what we're seeing right now, and we're seeing it across the board. So but you know what? There is ways to take advantage of this market. If it's marketed right and it's a nice home and it's in a good area, I think it's still going to sell. You're still going to have buyers that are interested. There's always buyers out there. There's always people trying to look at things, and now's the time to protect. Perhaps if you have a contingent offer, you know what I mean. You have to sell your house, or your house is in escrow. That contingent offer may not have been looked at 2 months ago, but I can guarantee you it probably wouldn't have been looked at 2 months ago. It's gonna be looked at now. I can tell you that. So things to think about from the buy side as we move into this market and how we move through it. So now we've taken a look at the first-time home buyers. Now we look at step up, which is anything from $750,000 to $1.25 million. So in the step up category, we had 22 homes sell this week versus 16 last week. So we saw a little jump there. 44 days on the market for the homes sold versus 68 last week. There are 204 homes currently on the market versus 178 last week. The average days on market for the homes on the market is 53 versus 57 last week. So very similar to first-time home buyers. We saw a little bump there in the number of homes that are currently on the market. As you can see, I'm sure you're catching on right now. If you've watched this entire video, you can see we've seen the same trends happen in Orange County and Irvine, and now we're seeing them move throughout the separate categories within Irvine. So everything's kind of moving the same way and then the same direction. So now we've taken a look at first-time home buyers and step up. We look at cat luxury, which is anything over $1.25 million. So in the luxury category, we had 10 homes sell this week. We had 10 homes sell last week. There's currently 172 homes on the market versus 158. Again, a slight increase. The average days on market for the homes that are currently on the market is 96 versus 108 last week. We typically do see a drop in the number of homes that sell in this category simply because the buyer pool is smaller, and I talk about that every week. So the smaller the buyer pool, the less people looking at the house, the less chance of the longer it's going to usually take to sell, especially if it's not aligned properly, if it's overpriced, if it's not in good condition, it's not easy to show, if it's not marketed right, you're going to see some issues there, and you're going to see the home potentially sit. So when we look at the market as a whole, we did really see some similarities throughout the entire market in Irvine and in Orange County. So it's really interesting. It's going to be interesting watching as in the coming weeks as this pans out, as we move forward through this. But as always, if you have any questions, please let us know. We're here to help. We're here to educate you guys. We're here to counsel you through this and really let you know what the effects are that are happening. And like I said, I'm here to make sure that you can keep your finger on the pulse and you keep up to date and educated. So that is my goal of doing this show, is really to keep you educated out there so you know what is happening. Now I take the time to take a look at rates every week. So this is as of April 3rd, which was Friday. Let's take a look at what was happening in the mortgage world. Rates are crazy, by the way, but let's take a look and see what happened. So a conforming 15-year fix was 2.625%. And again, these are not APRs. This is just your standard rate. The APRs are any costs associated with the loan will be added to this. Conforming 30-year fixed, 3.375. Conforming 7/1 ARM, so the variable is 3.5%. Jumbo 30-year fixed, so 3.625%. Jumbo 7/1 ARM 2.875%. One thing about the jumbos that we do want to mention is right now we have to be careful with those jumbo loans. Some investors are backing out, not funding. We just have to be careful with that and just really do due diligence if you're looking in that category where you are getting a jumbo loan. It's something to really watch. Some lenders aren't even doing them right now, so something to think about. The FHA 30-year fixed 3.75%, and a VA 30-year fixed 3.375%. So for all of our vets out there, or active duty military, this 3.375%, this is an insane rate. Plus, you got your zero down. You can do potentially zero closing costs. Like, there's so much going on in that VA loan that if you are thinking about buying this year, you may want to bump that up, and start looking now. If you have any questions, again, reach out and let us know. So that's what's happening in the market. It's a little bit crazy, and again, it's going to be like this the entire month, I think, as we move forward, and could be even further. We're here to answer any of your questions, so please let us know. Again, if you do like this, make sure you share it, make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell so you're notified every time I do post a new video. They're supposed to be out every Saturday. I know this one is Sunday, but it will be out next Saturday. I'll get those out, and we'll be pushing other videos from time to time as well. So make sure you subscribe, check out the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Again, any questions, comment here. Hit me up directly at Zwolak@firstteam.com. I hope you all stay safe. Stay inside, stay with the families, protect each other, stay good to each other, be good, be nice to each other. We're all in this together, and we're gonna get out of it together. So I hope you guys all have a great week, and until next week, take care, everybody.